بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله وكفى وسلام على عباده الذين اصطفى أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إن فرعون علا في الأرض وجعل أهلها شيعا يستضعف طائفة منهم يذبح أبناءهم ويستحيي نساءهم إنه كان من المفسدين صدق الله العظيم. Inshallah, if Allah Ta'ala gives us tawfiq, we will make mention of certain aspects in regards to Hazrat Musa alayhi salatu wassalam, Fir'aun, Bani Israel. There are many lessons that are really taken from this incident of Hazrat Musa alayhi salatu wassalam. So Allah gives us tawfiq, we will continue with this week, next week inshallah, and whatever time Allah Ta'ala wishes, we will continue with this. Just now, before we came for the Isha Salah, so Maulana Musa Kaji from Azamul is teaching in the madrasa. So he was here, he's got a program in Masjid al-Salihin. So he was just giving us a little bit of report while we were having supper, and he said that he just got back maybe some time back, I don't know exactly when, but he got back from Afghanistan. So they undertook a journey, they went to Afghanistan and they got back from Afghanistan. So I asked him that what was the reason why you went to Afghanistan. So he said there's so much of poverty in Afghanistan. He says that people don't have basic food in Afghanistan. People don't have water in Afghanistan. So he said that when you went, did you go to distribute zakat? What did you go for? He said, no, all of them can. Almost everyone there, they are recipients of zakat. They're eligible to receive zakat. So he said that there is one organization, I think it's called Afghan Aid. So one of our ulama, they know this person that is running this Afghan Aid. So under them they work. So they go and then they have the distribution, so people come. So he says what they normally distribute here is that they buy goats and they distribute. A person will come and one family, they'll give them a goat. So they will get milk also from that goat. They can slaughter that goat. Or if they got a male, female, then maybe later on they'll have much more animals than that as well. So in this way they distributed their zakat. And he says to dig a well, I don't know how big or whatever. So it cost about 5 billion, he was saying. Probably something that's very big for that amount of money. And he says that America is once again, they're trying to develop the roads, etc. in Afghanistan, because everything was destroyed. Wherever you go, there were bombs that were planted all over. So I thought, he said there's still bombs. So I asked him, there's still bombs over there when you're driving? He said, no bombs at the moment. All those bombs, they used to explode, so they destroyed the roads and everything. But by the time the money comes to them, they also, not amongst the Taliban, but through other sources, wherever the money comes from. So if there's $5 million that is sent, by the time it reaches them, they only got like $2 million. So they also there's corruption. But not amongst Taliban. Taliban, he said, they're just like about 2%. They minority. But mashallah, what control they have got. That they got control over the entire country. They're controlling the entire Afghanistan once again. And they have implemented the Sharia again in Afghanistan. To such an extent that the female, they must wear hijab. They must wear hijab and they must walk around. Without hijab, they cannot walk around. Otherwise, you get arrested in Afghanistan. And we know that Afghanistan, all the poppy seeds and all the drugs, all used to come from Afghanistan. They brought an end to all that. The moment they came in a short period of time, all this came to an end. They say when they checked after 1 year, they found that there was no crime whatsoever, 0% crime in Afghanistan, with the exception of 1 or 2 accidents that took place. Here, every day there's accidents. Just 1 or 2 accidents in Afghanistan, but other than that, no crime whatsoever in Afghanistan. This is what good control they've got. So he said that, mashallah, I asked him, were you allowed to see the ministers like Mullah Umar? His son is still alive. And there are others also. So were you allowed to see any of them? They said, yes, if you make an appointment, then mashallah, they allow you. You're allowed to come, meet them, see them. If there's time, you can go and visit all of them as well. So very simple people. Mullah Umar, they say when he used to be sitting, when he was alive, that time Osama bin Laden and all of them, so when he would be sitting, you won't even make out there's Amirul Mu'mineen. MashaAllah, they are one to senior ulama in our country also, that are very instrumental in Afghanistan. They play a very active role in Afghanistan. For example, the banking system in Afghanistan, one of the senior ulama of this country, they are involved in the banking of Afghanistan and in the education department of Afghanistan. And he said there's the normal Afghanis, those that are the Taliban, these are all mujahideen and they stay in the mountains. Previously also when we have reports that in the mountains of Afghanistan it's extremely cold. And they say that these people are so simple, they're so simple that one watermelon, Allah gave a lot of barakah. The watermelons are massive. So just some dried roti and the watermelon, and they survive on that, and they make shukr to Allah Ta'ala. And you see them on a cold day also, you see them wearing champal and they're walking. There it snows. So in the snow also they're moving with the champal. So then he mentioned that there is one army that they've got, which is called Badr, the Badr force. So I told him they also wear like kurta all the time. He said, no, this is a proper army and they dress in uniform. So he said, it's something to see. So I said, tell us about this. So he said that this army, the Badr force, he said, leave the training, how much of training they do. That is all in its place. Army has to do their training. They have to be very, very fit. He says, number one, that they have got that desire to give their life. Wherever they have to go in and give their life, they will go in and they will give their life immediately. That is the desire that they have. He said, secondly, he said the ruhaniyat, the spiritual strength these people have got. Not that they in the army now, it's only training and preparing. He says that so much of dhikr of Allah Ta'ala, tilawat of Quran, namaz, what taqwa, what piety they have. He said that is of a different level altogether. You can feel the spirituality, you can feel the ruhaniyat with these people. And then he said in the army force, every morning it is obligatory to sit in tafsir. Like how we have tafsir in the morning here. Every morning the soldiers, they have to sit in tafsir. They have to listen to the tafsir lesson. And then only whatever they need to do for the day, they go ahead and they do that for the day. So, mashallah, they went and they had a good experience. So I asked, where did you all stay in Afghanistan? So I thought probably they must have stayed in one of the masjids or something. He said, no, at the moment they have to book in some hotel. But the hotels also, like if you look at 5-star in South Africa, if you look at day 5-star, it will be like 1 or 2-star of our South African hotels. Everything is very, very simple in that country, in Afghanistan. So Allah Ta'ala give us tawfiq that we appreciate these great ni'mats of Allah Ta'ala. We are enjoying in our country, the food, the water. People come to the masjid. He said the people, when they want water, there's no water in the houses. They come to the masjid, they fetch water from the masjid, and then they take it home. Today, 1-2 days we don't have water. 1-2 days we don't have lights in our homes. What is our condition? Myself also, what is our condition and how much we complain? But every day they go for water, and they're grateful that in the masjid all the water supply is there. So alhamdulillah, at least we're getting water, and they take that water and they go home. So we really enjoy many ni'mats of Allah wa ta'ala. We must mention in this few minutes 1-2 aspects in regards to Hazrat Musa alayhi salatu wasalam, and then we'll continue. This from here we learn the great lesson of taqdeer, of destiny. That what is taqdeer and what is destiny. وَإِن يَمْسَسْكَ اللَّهُ بِضُرٍّ فَلَا كَاشِفَ لَهُ إِلَّا هُوَ. If Allah Ta'ala wants to afflict a person with any harm, then nobody can move that harm except Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. وَإِن يَمْسَسْكَ بِخَيْرٍ فَهُوَ عَلَى كُلِّ شَيْءٍ قَدِيرٌ. Allah wants to afflict you with some good. Allah Ta'ala has the full ability over everything. Nabi Kareem Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, he told one Sahabi, most probably it was Abdullah bin Abbas radiallahu ta'ala. He said, إِذَا سَأَلْتَ فَاسْأَلِ اللَّهِ. That when you ask from Allah, let your matters get sorted out there. وَإِذَا اسْتَعَنْتَ فَاسْتَعِنْ بِاللَّهِ. And when you seek assistance, then seek assistance from Allah. And then Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, وَعْلَمْ أَنَّ الْأُمَّةَ لَوْ اجْتَمَعَتْ عَلَىٰ أَن يَنْفَعُكَ بِشَيْءٍ. If the entire ummah get together, they want to bring benefit to you, they will never be able to benefit you إِلَّا مَا كَتَبَ اللَّهُ لَكَ, except what Allah Ta'ala has written for you. وَإِنِ اجْتَمَعُوا عَلَىٰ أَن يَضُرُّكَ بِشَيْءٍ. And if they all gather to harm you, they will never be able to harm you also except what Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala has written. And this is the lesson that we learn from the incident of Hazrat Musa alayhi salatu wasalam, where everything went against Musa alayhi salatu wasalam, against the family of Musa alayhi salatu wasalam. Yet in spite of all this, everything being against him, Allah Ta'ala protected Musa alayhi salatu wasalam, and Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala gave rule to Musa alayhi salatu, rulership to Musa alayhi salatu wasalam. Allah Ta'ala gave him the upper hand. It is mentioned before the birth of Musa alayhi salatu wasalam, the astrologers, all the magicians, they warned Fir'aun. They said that a child is going to be born, and at the hand of this child, your entire kingdom is going to come to an end. So Fir'aun, he was very fearful, and they even said that on a certain time, on a certain day, this child is going to be born. So they tried to prevent the mother of Musa alayhi salatu wasalam from conceiving. But what is the decision of Allah? That is what is to happen. So the mother of Musa alayhi salatu wasalam conceived. She fell pregnant with this little baby. When she fell pregnant, the very same astrologers, the magician, they came to Fir'aun. Fir'aun is a title of the kings of Egypt. It's not the name of a person, it's a title. The kings of Egypt, they were known as the pharaohs, the Fir'auns. So Fir'aun, when he heard about this, that now she has conceived, so he gathered all his advisors. On one side he is very, very angry also. On the other side he was very fearful that my kingdom is going to come to an end. So he gathered all his advisors, he had all his ministers, and what should we do now? So they decided that what we need to do is we need to kill the boys of the Bani Israel. Every second year we will kill the boys, and the girls we will leave them alive. In the Quran, Allah Ta'ala says, Inna Fir'auna ala fil ard. Fir'aun was exalted in the earth. He was regarded as very, very high, arrogant person, proud person he was. وَجَعَلَ أَهْلَهَا شِيَعًا. He made his people into groups. يَسْتَضْعِفُ طَائِفَةً مِّنْهُم. Weakening a group from them. يَسْتَضْعِفُ طَائِفَةً مِّنْهُم يُذَبِّحُ أَبْنَاءَهُمْ وَيَسْتَحْيِي نِسَاءَهُم. They would slaughter the boys. Every second year they would slaughter the boys and leave the girls alive. Because they slaughtered the boys every year. Who was going to make the khidmat? Who was going to work for them? إِنَّهُ كَانَ مِنَ الْمُفْسِدِينَ. He was from amongst the corruptors, those that made fasad in the earth. So it is mentioned Fir'aun, he killed 90,000 children in this way. Killing the boys, 90,000 children were killed. إِنَّهُ كَانَ مِنَ الْمُفْسِدِينَ. But after 9 months, the mother of Musa alayhi salam fell pregnant. 9 months later, she gave birth to a beautiful child, Hazrat Musa alayhi salatu wasalam. So what Fir'aun had done, in every area, he had placed his army. And in every family, there was a midwife. So the midwife, wherever a woman was about to deliver, she will go and she'll deliver that child. And after delivering that child, she will write a report. And that report will then be handed over to the soldiers. That in this home, a boy has been born. So they will pick up that boy, and then that boy will be killed. Or if it's a girl, then she'll write a report that a girl has been born. And then they will leave the girl. So when Musa alayhi salatu wasalam was born, it is mentioned Allah Ta'ala had kept in the eyes of, he was a very beautiful child, but in the eyes of Musa alayhi salatu wasalam, Allah had kept love in that eyes. Any person that looked at the eyes of Musa alayhi salatu wasalam, he fell in love with that child. So the midwife, when she saw this child, she immediately fell in love with this child. She was overcome, she was overpowered with that love to such an extent that she told the mother of Musa alayhi salatu wasalam, I'm going to tell the soldiers that a girl was born, and the girl passed away, and the girl was buried. So when she came out from there, she informed the soldiers, a girl was born and she's passed away, we buried the girl. So the soldiers, they said, no, let us go and do our check after a little while. So they went into the house. So the sister of Musa alayhi salam had this little baby, had the little child in her hand. But when she saw the soldiers entering, she panicked now. That what am I going to do? So what we say many times, the brain doesn't work. If there's a hold up or something, sometimes the panic button is right there. Really the panic button also, what can it do? Many a time people press the panic button and then the security people come with that arm response. And they go, 2 of them go inside with a gun, they take those fellows' guns, lock them up also, and they go on sometimes. So really everything is in the hands of Allah Ta'ala. Only Allah Ta'ala can give us protection. So here also we learn that protection is from Allah. So Musa alayhi salatu wasalam was in the hands of the sister. So the mind didn't work. So what she did with the child, she took the child and she threw the child into the stove. And the stove was burning at that time. So in a burning stove, she threw the child. Now the soldiers came in, they started interrogating them. So they didn't even ask, where is this child that was born? Where is the child buried? Nothing of this sort. They were satisfied. Allah Ta'ala gave them that satisfaction. They left the house. When they left the house, now the mother of Musa alayhi salam and the sister of Musa alayhi salatu wasalam, they are now talking. So now they said that where is the child? Where is the baby? So the sister remembered that I threw this baby into the stove. So they went now, they started crying. They said, our child is gone. The child is dead now, burning stove. So when they went there, they heard the sound of a child, a beautiful sound of the child, still alive. So the mother of Musa alayhi salatu wasalam, she picked up her sleeves. She read Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim and she put her hand into the stove. She pulled the child out. What is the quality of that fire? To burn. Never burn the child, never burn the hands of the mother of Musa alayhi salatu wasalam. She took the child out, absolutely safe she took the child out. And beautifully now she had the child. But the mother of Musa alayhi salatu wasalam was now fearing that this secret is going to be exposed. People are going to find out about this child. What am I going to do? So Quran says, وَأَوْحَيْنَا إِلَىٰ أُمِّ مُوسَىٰ أَنْ أَرْضِعِيهِ. We inspired the mother of Musa alayhi salatu wasalam. Your job is to breastfeed this child. So you breastfeed this child now. فَإِذَا خِفْتِ عَلَيْهِ. When you fear the life of this child, فَأَلْقِيهِ فِي الْيَمِّ. Take this child and put this child into the river. وَلَا تَخَافِي وَلَا تَحْزَنِي. Don't fear and don't grieve anything. Don't worry, Allah is a protector. Allah will protect this child. Fir'aun and his armies, everybody can be against this child. He is in the protection of Allah Ta'ala. Allah Ta'ala promises her here, Inna radduhu ilayk. We will return this child to you, O the mother of Musa. وَجَاعِلُوهُ مِنَ الْمُرْسَلِينَ. We will make this child amongst the messengers. He will be from amongst the Anbiya alayhi salatu wasalam. So the mother of Musa alayhi salatu wasalam took some consolement from this. But Allah Ta'ala's instruction here was that when you fear this child, you need to put this child into the river. So it is mentioned, Fir'aun, he stepped up now, his search. So he started sending now his people go home to home and search, where is this child, where is Musa alayhi salatu wasalam? Because the time was given by the astrologers, by the magician, that the child is going to be born at a certain time. So Musa alayhi salatu wasalam's mother, she told the carpenter to make a basket, make a casket for this little child, like a little basket to put the child inside. So he made the basket. After he made the basket, he brought the basket to the father of Musa alayhi salatu wasalam, Imran, and he gave the basket to him. When he gave him the basket, the father now, he tells the carpenter, he says, you know, that it is my child that Fir'aun is looking for. So we need to put this child into the basket. So he handed the basket over, but what he thought to himself, let me go and report this child to Fir'aun. I'm going to get a reward over there. I will become the favorite of Fir'aun. So he gave them the basket and he made his way to Fir'aun. When he reached the palace of Fir'aun, and now he came to speak to Fir'aun, Allah Ta'ala's qudrat, look, and Allah wanted to protect Musa alayhi salam, he became dumb. This carpenter, he became dumb. Now he wants to express himself to Fir'aun, he is unable to express himself. So now, when he's trying to speak, there are sounds that are now coming out of the mouth of the carpenter. So Fir'aun was a temperamental person, so he got upset with him, he got angry, he said, this guy is running amok over here, he's joking with me. So what Fir'aun did, Fir'aun said that whoop him, give him a hiding, and then send him from here. So he went to become the favorite of Fir'aun. What Allah Ta'ala did, look how Allah Ta'ala turned the heart of Fir'aun. He got hiding, he got whooped, and then he left the palace of Fir'aun. But he thought to himself, let me go home and I will write now, I can't speak any longer, let me write a letter to Fir'aun and I'll inform Fir'aun about this child, about Musa alayhi salatu wasalam. So he went home. When he went home and he sat down to write, he's now when he started writing, Allah Ta'ala made him blind. So he lost his sight. Now he couldn't see any longer. This is when it struck him, the thought came to his mind. He said that this child is probably going to be the Nabi of Allah Ta'ala. And this is the same child that all these magicians and all these astrologers have warned Fir'aun about. This is the very same child. So when this thought came to his mind, immediately he made tawbah. He was a Coptic, he was a Qibti at that time, he wasn't a Muslim. But he made tawbah. Now look at the result of that tawbah. When a person, he makes tawbah, a person did wrong. And when he did wrong, he committed a terrible crime. All the people of the town have turned against him. Nobody wants to see this man. Nobody wants to talk to this man. But the person in the dark hours of the night, or in the late hours of the night, he cries to Allah Ta'ala. He begs Allah Ta'ala for forgiveness. Allah Ta'ala has the full ability of turning the hearts of all the people again in favor of him. The same Allah who turned the hearts of the people against him, Allah will turn everybody's heart in favor of this person. So nevertheless, now when he made tawbah, he started crying to Allah. Allah restored his sight. He got his sight. And when Musa alayhi salatu wasalam claimed that he's a Nabi of Allah Ta'ala, from the Coptics, from the Qibtis, the first person that brought Iman was this very same person. He brought Iman upon Hazrat Musa alayhi salatu wasalam. So Allah Ta'ala blessed him with Iman. Now the mother of Musa alayhi salam takes that basket. And what does she do? She needs to put this basket into the water. So she looks for all the gaps in the basket and she starts sealing that basket up. So she seals the entire basket. She takes Musa alayhi salatu wasalam, she gives Musa alayhi salam a bath. And she puts on clothes for him. And thereafter the mother of Musa alayhi salam kisses him and she starts crying. And she takes her little child, this infant, and she puts the child into the basket. And she seals that basket, she closes the basket, and then she goes to the river Nile. Now this is the command of Allah. فَأَلْقِيهِ فِي الْيَمْ وَلَا تَخَافِي وَلَا تَحْزَنِي. You put him into the river, don't fear, don't grieve. When she comes to the river, there's a huge snake, huge serpent that is at the river. So the snake speaks, and the snake tells the mother of Musa alayhi salam, you put him into the river, and I will swallow him. So the mother, she was a very pious woman. So what she realized immediately, this is shaitan. So she said, you are shaitan. The moment she said, you are shaitan, that was the end. The snake disappeared from there. Now she took this child in the basket and she puts the basket into the river. And she stands there crying now, watching that basket go to the point that she could no longer see the basket. When she could no longer see the basket, then she returns, she comes home. But on the other side, look at Allah Ta'ala's qudrat. Fir'aun had one daughter. And this daughter of Fir'aun, she suffered from leprosy. So all the magicians and all these astrologers, they told Fir'aun that on a certain time, on a certain day, in the river Nile, there would be a creation of Allah. But they didn't know what this creation of Allah is going to be, which was Musa alayhi salam. There'll be a creation of Allah, and if you take a little bit of saliva from this creation of Allah Ta'ala and you place it on your daughter will be cured perpetually. So you get this and you place this saliva onto your daughter and she will be cured. So Fir'aun, he employed many people that you all gather at the river Nile at a particular time and you look out for this basket. So it is mentioned Musa alayhi salatu wasalam, Allah's qudrat, that he ended up in Allah Ta'ala placed him in a tree. And in the middle of that tree, the tree went against the current and it was flowing. So everyone now saw this basket. Fir'aun and his wife are standing on the top of the palace. From the top window, they can see this basket. And the tree came in line with the window. When it came in line with the window, Hazrat Asya, who was actually the aunt of Musa alayhi salatu wasalam, she picked up the basket and she took this basket into the home. It is mentioned when they took this basket into the home, they opened the basket, a beautiful child came out of the basket. Musa alayhi salam. Now, whoever saw Musa alayhi salam, they fell in love with Musa alayhi salam. So here also, they fell in love with Musa alayhi salatu wasalam. When they fell in love with Musa alayhi salam, now the thought struck Fir'aun. What if this is the child at whose hand my kingdom is going to come to an end? So he told Asya, he said, what if this is the very same child? She told him, this is all your suspicion that you have. No such thing. Look what a beautiful child Allah has given us. And the cure to your daughter lies in this child. We will take the saliva of this child and we will place it on our daughter and our child will be cured. Our daughter will be cured. So Fir'aun, Allah Ta'ala made it such that when Hazrat Asya said this, his heart turned in favor of the child. See, the heart was against the child. He is the enemy of Allah Ta'ala. He is the enemy of the child. But when Allah turns the heart, look how Allah Ta'ala turned the heart. So Allah Ta'ala says, وَقَالَتِ امْرَأَةُ فِرْعَوْنَ, the wife of Fir'aun said, قُرَّةُ عَيْنٍ لِي وَلَكَ, this is the coolness of my eyes, this is the coolness of your eyes. عَسَىٰ أَن يَنْفَعَنَا, perhaps this child will benefit us. أَوْ نَتَّخِذَهُ وَلَدًا, or we'll take him as our child, as our son. وَهُمْ لَا يَشْعُرُونَ, they didn't know anything who this child is going to be. They didn't know anything. So this child now came into the hands of Hazrat Asya, and she started taking care of this child, looking after this child. And all the ladies of the palace, they are with her and they're taking care of this child. So the ladies of the palace said that this is a little infant, a little child that has come into your hand. You don't have a name for the child. Let's name the child first. So Hazrat Asya said that this child, we will name him Musa. Why? Mu actually means the tree. It means the tree, the timber. And Sa refers to the water. So he came in the water on the tree and I took him off there. So we named this child Musa. Many people have Musa, they don't know the name of Musa also. This is the name of, that's how Musa alayhi salatu wasalam got the name. So they gave him this name Musa. So he was known now as Musa alayhi salatu wasalam. But on the other hand, the mother went home. Here everybody is partying here, everybody is happy here. وَأَصْبَحَ فُعَادُ أُمِّ مُوسَى فَارِغًا. I'll finish on this, time is going also. The heart of the mother of Musa alayhi salatu wasalam became restless. وَأَصْبَحَ فُعَادُ أُمِّ مُوسَى فَارِغًا. إن كادت لتبدي به لولا أربتنا على قلبها لتكون من المؤمنين. She almost disclosed all this, the mother of Musa alayhi salatu wasalam, about the child. Because up to now, nobody knows about the child. Who is this child? Where has this child come from? This child was just found in the river. Nobody knows that who does the child belong to. So she almost discloses, Allah Ta'ala said, لولا أربتنا على قلبها, had we not made her heart firm, we made her firm at that time, لِتَكُونَ مِنَ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ, so that she'll be from amongst those that have conviction. Inshallah, we'll continue from here.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. The first verse that we discussed today is with regards to all copies of the Quran al-Majid. So if a person has all copies of the Quran al-Majid or some dini kitab or some Islamic literature, then how should he dispose of it? So it is mentioned in the Kitabs of Fiqh that a person should place this old copy of the Quran al-Majid or some dini kitab which he has to dispose of. He should place it in a clean piece of cloth, and thereafter it should be buried in such a place which is not trampled upon. The next mas'ala is with regards to emojis. Is it permissible to use emojis? So since emojis resembles faces, therefore a person should not and avoid using emojis. And the last masala is with regards to if some najasat, some impurity has to fall on such an item which cannot be washed and squeezed, like a bed or a mattress or a huge rug or mat or carpet, then how should it be purified and cleansed? So Fuqaha have mentioned that if it is such an item which cannot be washed and squeezed, then it should be washed and it should be left until the water stops dripping. Then after, for the second time, it should be the same process should be carried out as well as for the third time. Once it is washed for the third time and the water stops dripping, the item will be rendered as pure.
اللهم صل على سيدنا مولانا محمد وعلى ال سيدنا مولانا محمد وبارك وسلم فاذكروني اذكركم انا جليس من ذكرني दिल मेरा हो जाए एक मैदानी हो तू ही तो हो तू ही तो हो तू ही तो और मेरे तन में बजाए आब वगिल दर्द दिल हो दर्द दिल हो दर्द दिल हैरत से बिल्कुल यूं जाए नजर तू ही तो आए नजर देखो मुझे दर ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह मुहम्मदुर रसूलुल्लाह सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम لا إله إلا الله 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 محمد رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم لا إله إلا الله 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 محمد رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم अल्लाह अल्लाह कैसा प्यारा नाम है आशिकों का मीना और जाम है अल्लाह जल्ल जलालुहु तआला शनुहु अल्लाह 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 اللهم صل على سيدنا مولانا محمد كلما ذكره الذاكرون وكلما غفل عنه الغافلون ربنا تقبل منا انك انت السميع العليم وتب علينا يا مولانا انك انت التواب الرحيم جزا الله عنا محمدا صلى الله عليه وسلم سبحان ربك رب العزه عما يصفون